Hey there. I'm so happy that you've decided to join me for my plant-powered training. I'm going to share with you my 3 strategies for effortless weight loss and crazy energy. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how you can make the ultimate shift from frustrated and overwhelmed to effortless weight loss, crazy energy, and to prevent and reverse chronic diseases. But first, before I get into that, I want to share a quick little tip, something you can do immediately to start seeing some benefits from what I'm going to be talking about. Frozen fruits and veggies. These are a must-have in your house. You must have some stuff in your freezer, so you always have some frozen fruits and vegetables. You always have plants ready to be able to add to meals. So what you can do with frozen veggies, I would say go out to the store the next time you're shopping, buy some frozen blueberries and some frozen chopped spinach, even 1 bag of each. Just keep it in your freezer because you can always toss it into things to make that healthier. So in a smoothie, you can put the blueberries and the spinach in there. It makes it, yeah, you're adding all this extra nutrition. And then also if you're making eggs or any other meal that you're cooking in a pan, throw some chopped spinach in there. You can always add it in. It doesn't change the flavor of anything. You're adding all that extra nutrition, and usually you don't even notice it's there. So that's a quick tip that you can start to do right away. So you're in the right place. I just want to make sure you know that. If you have been yo-yo dieting, if you are always complaining about low or no energy, or if you're trying to avoid the doctor, if you've got some chronic diseases in your family and you want to avoid that happening to you, then you are in the right place. So what's your struggle? If it's weight loss, if it's a low energy thing, or if you're worried about your doctor or staying away from the doctor, I can help you with these strategies. So let me talk a little bit about myself and why I'm the person to help you with this. For my reason to do what I do is I want to be around for my family. I want to be healthy. I want to live a long, healthy life. I don't want to end up in a nursing home for the last 20 years of my life, and I also don't want to get any kind of chronic diseases. So I want to be as healthy as I can for as long as I can. And that's what keeps me motivated to do what I do. And then I feel so fabulous by making the changes that I've made that I just want to tell everybody about it and share everything with everybody. And that keeps me motivated as well. So I'll tell you a little history about myself. When I was in my 20s, I was told by my doctor that I had high cholesterol and they wanted to put me on some medication. And I said, no, that's not going to happen. And I knew cholesterol ran in the family because my dad had it. And what I did was I said, what can I do to not take the medication? So I was able to make some dietary changes, and I thought I was a healthy eater before. So I made some minor little switches, fixed my issue with cholesterol. Then in my 30s, I ended up having gum disease. My gums were inflamed. So I had periodontal disease that I was fighting for years, almost 15 years actually, before I was able to find out what the problem was. It wasn't a hygiene thing. I was doing everything I could on the outside, but it was coming from the inside. And what it was inflammation in my gums. And it was coming out and causing bone loss and everything. I had major problems in my gums. Found out I had gluten and dairy intolerances. When I stopped eating gluten and dairy, my gums got better. And I was like blown away. I'm like, how could that make a big difference just by changing some food that I was eating? And so that was kind of what got me going on this whole thing. And I have some bad genes in my family. So my dad, he passed away at a young age. He was only in his 60s, and he passed away in 2009. And he had a heart attack when he was 39, and he had, cholesterol and all kinds of issues and heart disease. He had a heart surgery, and then ended up dying of liver cancer. So he had some, bad stuff going on. And then my mom recently passed away this past January, and after fighting Alzheimer's for about 15 years. And I don't want to go down the path of my parents. And what I found out is the inflammation like I had in my gums is what is the precursor to a lot of these diseases. So I wanted to stay away from that. And so that's why I do what I do. So these issues that I had in my 20s and 30s actually saved my life. And I'm very grateful that I had them happen to me, even though it wasn't fun at the time. I'm really really grateful that they did, because I do believe 100% that they saved my life and kept me from going down the path of these chronic diseases like my parents. So this is a great quote I heard. It's your genes load the gun, but your lifestyle pulls the trigger. So even though you might have bad genes like I do, you can change that by changing what you put into your body. By changing the foods that you're eating, you can actually turn the genes on and off. And that is just crazy exciting. So I have control over that, and I'm taking full control over my health by doing what I do and teaching what I teach to everybody else. So once I found out about all this years ago, I decided I was going to become a health coach so that I could really share the information. So I got 2 training certificates with integrative nutrition and well coaches. And when I started, I had basically, it was trial and error, and learning from my own mistakes. And I got all of that knowledge, and I want to be able to share it with everybody. So imagine a life where you love your body, you feel great, and look to food for nourishment, not comfort. And that is something you can do. I look to the food when I'm eating now, it's nourishing my body, and I enjoy eating it. I don't worry about every calorie that I eat. Food is not a problem for me. I don't focus on it all day. I just eat for nutrition, and everything else just balances out because of it. And that can be you too. So this is possible, and I can show you how easy it is. It's very easy. It wasn't easy when I started because I had no direction and I had to really learn it on my own, but I can make it easy. So this was my path. Like I said, trial and error before I got to success. And now I've learned so much, but it was about 10 years of learning before I was able to feel confident in what I was doing. But my roadmap for you is much straighter because I've taken out all that trial and error for you, and I can share with you all of my strategies. So all of what I'm talking about is actually backed by science and studies and world-renowned doctors. So this has been around for a lot of years. Actually, back in the 40s and 50s, there were studies back then talking about plant-based eating and how healthy it is for our bodies, and that our bodies are actually designed to eat more whole food plant-based products. So my 3 strategies that I'm going to share with you today. Number 1 is eat more fiber. So fiber feeds the good gut bugs. So the good gut bugs are basically in our intestines and our digestive tract. There are trillions of bacteria living in our digestive tract, and they're actually what digest the food. It's not, we don't really digest the food on our own. It's these little bacteria that actually digest the food. Now, fiber feeds the good gut bugs. So there's good gut bugs and bad. And we need to keep a balance. We need to keep a lot of good gut bugs to keep the bad gut bugs at bay so that they're not taking over our system. But less than 3% of Americans eat the minimum amount of fiber. And the minimum amount of fiber that is recommended by the government is really way lower than what it should be. The recommended amount is between 20 and 30 grams of fiber a day. But most people don't eat anywhere near that. So, and if you look at back at our ancestors, they ate over 100 grams of fiber in a day. So our bodies can handle fiber, and they're designed to thrive by eating a lot of fiber. So what happens when our gut bugs are out of balance? What happens? It causes dysbiosis. It's called dysbiosis, but I call it the gut bugs are out of balance. And that causes inflammation. Now, inflammation, like I said earlier, is what I had in my gums. It comes out differently in everybody's body, and that's why you have different diseases. So what happens when you have inflammation is it leads to all of these chronic diseases, whether it's arthritis or allergies or skin, like eczema and skin irritations, hypertension, metabolic syndrome, multiple sclerosis, all these autoimmune diseases that are out there, diabetes, Alzheimer's, all of those things, they start cancer. They all start with inflammation in our bodies. And they also, inflammation causes premature aging, which is, again, we're all pretty vain a lot of times, us women especially. You know, we don't want to age faster than we need to, but that's what happens when we have inflammation in our body. It causes premature aging. Now, fiber is only found in plants. So of course, fruits and veggies, we all know that, but there's so much more to plant food than just fruits and veggies. You have whole grains like brown rice and quinoa and whole wheat and all that kind of stuff, oats, all of that. Legumes and lentils, so beans, you know, black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, lentils, soybeans, things like that. Nuts and seeds, you know, all the nuts and seeds, they have really good fiber in them and a lot in protein, and legumes and lentils have a lot of protein in them too. Fermented foods is another type of plant food that you don't think about, but again, it has a different type of fiber. All plant foods have different types of fiber. So something that would be in nuts is not necessarily in broccoli, and then what's in broccoli isn't in apples. So you need to have variety of all of these different fibers. So things like olives and tempeh, things that are fermented, sauerkraut. Herbs and spices. Herbs and spices are so healthy for you. A lot of them, they have a variety of different things. So again, variety of herbs and spices. So there's 6 different plant categories to choose from. So there's a lot of food. A lot of times people think, oh, I'm going to eat plant-based. I can only eat fruits and veggies. That's all I eat. And so there's actually a ton of plant-based foods that you can eat. There's so much variety out there. I eat so much more variety now than I ever did before. So variety is key when you're eating fiber, because like I said, each fiber that you eat has different, feeds the different gut bugs. So you want to have a good balance of the different gut bugs in your system. And that's the secret. So number 2, eat quality protein. Okay, so what comes to mind when I say quality protein? I know what you're saying. Free range, cage free, no hormones, wild caught animal products. What if I told you that was wrong? All animal products feed the bad gut bugs in our system. Even the cage-free and the hormone-free and the free range and all that, they all are still animal products. And when we eat animal products, we are feeding the bad bacteria, the bad gut bugs in our system. And now they can overgrow. And if you're not eating enough fiber now, then things get out of balance because you don't have that good bacteria in your system to balance out all of that, the bad bacteria. And then what happens? Inflammation, chronic diseases, premature aging. Plus, animal products contain cholesterol. There's no cholesterol in plants. So animal products have cholesterol, and this is what happens to your arteries when you eat a lot of animal foods. You can see the one on the left, the artery on the left doesn't have a lot of any buildup in there. The meat eater on the right has a lot of buildup. And when that happens, that's what causes high blood pressure and heart disease and things like that, because the blood can't flow properly because that cholesterol is built up in your arteries. 97% of Americans eat too much protein. There is no protein deficiency in the United States. We all eat way too much protein. And then you have all these fad diets that come around, keto and Atkins and Zone and all these pushing protein, eat more protein, eat more protein. So imagine what's going on inside your body when you eat too much protein. You're getting all these extra gut bugs growing, the bad ones, and you're getting all this inflammation. And eating a lot of protein is really hard on your intestines and your liver and your kidneys. It really ages your organs because it's taxing them. It takes them a lot more work for them to digest and process animal products than it is to process plant foods. So where do we get quality protein then? All plants have protein. I know people don't think of plants as having protein, but fruits and veggies, they all have protein. Everything has protein. It's different amounts in each food. Some plant foods have more protein than others, but every plant food has protein. And if you think about it that way, the animals that we eat are eating plants, and so the plants they eat have protein. Then the animals eat that. Now they build up protein in their bodies, and then we eat the animals. So we're really getting secondhand protein when we eat animal meat. So if you just think about it that way, it kind of makes sense. So this kind of blows your mind a little here. 100 calories of steak versus 100 calories of broccoli, the broccoli actually has more grams of protein than the steak. So just kind of let that sink in. Plus, animal products have saturated fat to clog your arteries, and broccoli has fiber, which is good for you. So there's nothing bad on the broccoli side, but on the animal side, there's a lot of negative marks on that side. So plus, plant protein does not cause inflammation and does not have cholesterol. So it's healthier all around for your whole body. Again, plant proteins, variety is key. Some plants have more protein than others, beans and legumes and tofu and tempeh and nuts and seeds. Those all have higher levels of protein, but if you eat a variety of plant foods, you will get plenty of protein to build muscle. There's a lot of plant-based athletes out there these days. There's plenty of protein in the plants you eat. So number 3, start today. We eat all day long. Every meal that you have is a new opportunity to start adding plants. Start with small steps. I always tell people, they get excited about it. They might want to start and they want to just like completely start from scratch and do everything brand new, you know, and cook every meal from home and do everything from scratch and all homemade foods. And it's just too much. And then it's kind of like going to the gym. If you say, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to go 7 days a week. And then you go 7 days a week and then you injure yourself. And then you say, well, that's painful. I'm not doing that anymore. And then you don't go anymore. So you need to start slow and build on the steps as you make new healthy habits. And like I said, every meal is an opportunity. So at that next meal, you can make a change. What I like to say is every meal that you're making, or if you're even if you're getting pizza out, or if you're having a yogurt or something and you say it's already done, but hey, what could I do to make this meal just a little bit healthier? So if you're having yogurt, put some fruit in there, put some nuts in there or seeds. If you're having pizza, get a veggie topping on there, get multiple veggie toppings, you know, don't put the meat topping on or cut back on the meat topping. So there's all these little things that you can do, and each little thing makes a difference. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You need to focus on progress, not perfection. A lot of times we go on these journeys and we decide we're going to do something and then we fall off, or we do something that we said we weren't going to do, and then all of a sudden we just throw in the towel and say we're done because we didn't do it perfectly. No one is perfect. We're always going to go deviate from the plan, and then you just go back. So the next meal, like I said, that next meal is your next opportunity to make a new decision. Variety is key. So just think about trying new things and how you can add a different plant food into whatever meal you're making or eating. So do you see how powerful it could be to eat more plants? So you have a decision. You can do nothing and you'll be in the same place next year that you are today, or you can commit to change and the possibilities are endless. Now, you could try to do this on your own. Again, remember, it took me 10 years, a lot of trial and error, but I did get there. Or you could use my proven roadmap to success, and I can get you there very fast. So I'm here to help. I have a plant-based program, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. So my plant-powered course will show you exactly how to create and embrace simple, healthy, plant-based habits that fit into your lifestyle, so you can finally get control of your weight and health to be your best self. And when I say your lifestyle, I mean it. Like, I don't tell you what to do. I give you ideas and suggestions, and you try things, and then you say, this works for me or this doesn't work for me. And then we try something else, and then this works or this doesn't work. And you build slowly on that, because what works for me isn't going to necessarily work for you and isn't going to necessarily work for your friend. So it's all very personalized, but I will help you through it, and I will be there to guide you along the way. So some of the benefits that you can expect to see: you're going to lose weight naturally without stressing over it. You don't have to worry about everything you're putting in your mouth. You don't have to be worried about how many calories is this and how many grams of fat is that. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to weigh your food or anything. You're going to gain so much energy. That is the biggest thing I think that people notice right away, is the amount of energy they have is off the charts. Improve your digestion and constipation if there's any, all that gurgling you get going on in your stomach from, during the day. Strengthen your immune system. My family, we don't get sick. We don't get sick anymore. It's like the immune system is so strong when you eat more plants. Prevent and reverse chronic diseases. Manage menopause symptoms, please. I just breezed through menopause and it was unbelievable. Like people complaining about all the stuff that's going on hormonally. I didn't have any of that problem. Just the plants just really make a difference. Clearer skin. Like my skin is the best it's ever been. And I'm 54 and people comment about my skin and all the time. It's amazing. I haven't had any kind of breakouts or anything on my skin in years and years. Sleep better. You enjoy delicious meals. I know a lot of people think plant foods, they're going to be boring and bland. And yes, when I first started, they were boring and bland because I didn't know what I was doing. But if you know what you're doing, and that's what I'm going to share with you, you can make delicious meals that your family will actually eat. My family wouldn't eat my meals for a lot of years. And then till I finally figured this out. And I was like, wow, now we all enjoy the meals and I enjoy them more too, because I was eating the bland meals and I was just suffering through it. You're going to get your family healthier because again, they're going to be eating it along with you. You're not going to have to make 2 meals, one for them and one for you. And that's what I did for years. And you got to learn from my mistakes and you are going to feel incredible, incredible. So my program starts with training modules and I'll do training modules each week. And these are just a handful of the ones I do. I do a 6-week plan, but then I add extra ones in there, not as often, but there's going to be a bunch of training modules and different topics. And that's how we get started. Then there's a private membership page where everybody can chat with each other and chat with me. And you can ask me questions and I'll be posting things all the time. And it's just a nice community of supportive women to help you through this process. And you can learn from each other's struggles and help support each other. And it's really a fabulous spot to be together. Weekly live group coaching calls. I do this on Zoom and we get together once a week, we chat and you can ask me any questions you want. And we can just sit and have conversations and it's really fun and relaxing, laid back. Weekly kitchen demos. Some of these are live. Sometimes I record them, just showing you some easy kitchen tips, easy ways to make meals for your family, and different recipes that I'll show how to make. Bonus number 1 has my easy, delicious recipes. All of my recipes are made with normal food that you buy in the grocery store. Not a lot of crazy things. There's not too many ingredients. They're very simple to make because if it's hard to make, I'm not doing it. I don't like to cook. I never like to cook. I do like it now because I know that I'm nourishing my body, but I hated cooking when I was in my 20s, in my 30s even. So when I was in my 40s, I started to learn, I was forced to learn to cook. And I absolutely love it now. I hated it at first. I love it now because I know that I'm just nurturing my family with this wonderful food and we're all so healthy. And I love trying new recipes and new flavors and everything that we have is absolutely delicious. My husband will be like, that's the best meal I've ever had. I don't even think I've ever had a meal like that in a restaurant. He's like, that's the best meal I've ever had. And I'm like, wow, it wasn't even hard to make. Bonus number 2, fun, effective workouts. We have some streaming workouts. I have workout guides. So I'll help you find ways to move your body. Again, I'll help you find ways that work for you, not for me. I'll give you suggestions. I'll give you ideas. You try things. You say, I like this. I don't like that. The important thing is to move your body on a regular basis, and I'll get you to figure out ways to do that. And because you're feeling so great and having so much energy from all the food you're eating, the good food you're eating, you're going to have the energy to exercise. And then that gives you even more energy. When you exercise, you actually feel better and more energetic. So it's a great cycle, not a vicious cycle. And plus bonus number 3, 1 year of coaching and accountability on that membership page. So you get a full year with me, even after the training. So we do the 6 weeks of training, and then I'm still there to help you implement those 6 weeks, because I don't expect everyone to do everything in 6 weeks, because it's hard to do all of that stuff. And I don't expect someone to do that. And I'm there to help bring you along and help keep you on track. So when you fall off track, I can help you guide you back on. So this is kind of, it shows a little bit of what you get with the package. So again, 10 module, at least 10, there's going to be more than that. 1 year membership, and the membership site, the live Zoom coaching calls, the kitchen demos, my recipes, workouts, and 1 year of accountability. And the cost, I could charge $797 for this. But like I said, I learned trial and error. I'm not extra special. It's not like I have, access to a private coach, private trainer, or chef or anything like that. I spent years trying to figure this stuff out. So I want to share my knowledge and help as many people as possible. So I'm offering this program for $297. And that's 1 whole year of coaching and accountability, along with the training and my special strategies and tips and everything. And it's really fun, and it's very relaxed. Everything's recorded. So if you can't be there live, you just watch the recording. You go at your own pace, and you have a whole year to get yourself going on this. And I'm there every step of the way. So I've got a QR code there that you can use your phone and go right to the landing page, and you can see all the details about the program, and you can register right there. So my proven strategies and support will help you lose weight without freaking out about everything you put in your mouth. It's going to give you energy, so you're not going to be slumped over in the middle of the afternoon every day. And you're going to avoid the doctor. That's the biggest thing. I mean, we never think about that ahead of time, because it's something that you take your health for granted a lot of times until something happens. Like I said, when I was in my 20s and my 30s, that I needed that kick in the pants to say, you need to pay attention to this now, because the sooner you start paying attention to it, the better off you are as far as keeping yourself out of the doctor's office and out of those chronic diseases. You can reverse a lot of chronic diseases, but it's better to avoid them in the first place if you can. So again, I was lucky, and I count my blessings that I had the struggles that I did when I was younger, because it has saved me now a lot of hassle. And I say my life, because I was probably heading down the road with my mom with the Alzheimer's, and I don't want to do that. I want to be here for my family, and I don't want to be a burden on my family by being sick for the last 20 or 30 years of my life. So what's your biggest obstacle? I know there's a lot of reasons why you can't do this, or why you think, it's not going to work for you. You don't know where to start. You don't have time. It's too expensive. A lot of people think eating plant-based is expensive. It's not. It is so not expensive. I have all kinds of tips to keep you from spending a lot of money. In fact, now I don't even buy meat in my house anymore, because my whole family over the last couple of years has gone plant-based. They're not 100% plant-based like me. They will eat out. When we eat out, they might get meat, a hamburger or some chicken or something like that, or some fish. But when we're at home, they don't eat that way. And when we're out, most of the time, they still eat plant-based, because they just like how their body feels when they eat that way. So it's easy to do once you get started, because you feel so good. You're too tired. You have no energy. I hate to cook. Again, like I said, I was the worst. When I first moved, when we were building our house here, and I said to the builder, I said, I don't really need a stove. You could just put one of those fake stoves like they have when you go to buy cabinets, they have the fake appliances. I said, I really don't need a stove, because I'm not cooking. So I'm thankful that I have a stove, though. They did put a stove in, because I do need it now. I've failed before. Things that, if you've done these yo-yo diets and you've tried, you've lost weight, then you've gained it back. You've felt bad about yourself. You think you have bad genes. There's no reason to try to fix it, and your family won't like the food. That's what a lot of people think. Those are some obstacles and some excuses you might be thinking that why you can't do this. But I'm telling you right now, I will help you overcome those obstacles. It's so easy. We can do this together. It's hard when you try to do it on your own. You struggle, and it's lonely. You need support to get this done. So I hope you will join me. Again, my plant-powered weight loss and lifestyle transformation course, a full year of coaching and accountability, and along with my strategies and trainings. And I'm so excited to be able to help as many people as possible. Again, $297 for the whole year. It's ridiculously cheap, and it's your health is at stake, your energy levels, like just your happiness. You will be so happy with yourself. You will feel great, and you will be so glad you did this. Again, check out the QR code or go to the website. It's donna.empowerfitness.com/plant-power. So I hope to see you there. I'm so excited to be able to help you.